Hi my creative friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Missy and this is the Crafty Homebody. So today we're doing video 3 of my daily journal for the month of September. We just got back from a family vacation and I'm documenting it in my journal, and we've been steadily working on this. Look how chunky she's getting. And this is video number 3. I'm almost positive there's going to be a video 4. These videos kind of take a while, but you guys really seem to be enjoying them, and I like the kind of format where it's kind of like a journal vlog and I show you some moments of my life, not just the creative process of making these spreads. You get that as well, but kind of the scenes that inspired the creative process of making these journal spreads in this little chunky monkey. But in the first video, I just wanted to share, we did the waterfall tabs and we kind of prepped the journal. In the second video, we did a little bit more interactive things and did some spreads. And in this video, we are going to be working in the actual interactive doors that I prepped. We're going to be working in those, and you're going to see all of this come together. I am so excited to share this with you. I've been jumping around. I haven't been doing it in like chronological order or anything. I just been jumping around. It's your journal. You can do whatever you want. So I'm going to show you a little bit of footage from the trip so that you can kind of get a feel of what I'm trying to capture in my creative process. And then you'll get voiceover Missy. Yeah, look, Lisa. Okay, let me sit on it.
Yeah, no.
Let me see you go down the slide. Okay, creative friends. So I'm going to try to document when we went to the fair and my daughter got cute little tassels put in her hair, time spent with my best friend Lisa, some of the stuff that we did outside. My husband and I had like a little date lunch where we went and shared a gyro up on the beautiful summit of this mountain. So I'm going to try to capture all of those things. Those were just a few little clippets of the time that we spent in Pennsylvania. And I'm going to speed this up. You might hear some background noises. I did work on this on a Saturday when my family was home. If it gets too loud, you might hear some noise and then all of a sudden it gets really, really quiet and then comes back, because I might have to mute some parts of this if it gets, too loud, because it is sped up and will sound like chipmunks if we are talking. So I might speed it up a little bit. But I'm going to be rounding all of the corners of the pictures. I just don't like those sharp corners. I'm going to be using some fall scrapbook paper, and I'm going to be making like what I call like little clusters. And then I'm going to bring a new element to this, and I'm going to be using my stapler. And I'm actually going to like staple the clusters of like scrap paper and like I don't know, I use scrap paper and scrap rip tears out of the magazines and the brochures that I brought back. Just like little pieces that I put all together that I think brings in like the fall color and things like that. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing, and I like the idea of stapling the clusters together and then gluing them down. And then I'm going to be using my mild liners to like make the lines, because this is a line journal, so that I can journal later. I'm going to get like all the creative part done, and then I usually film reels and TikToks and things like that, what I call before the pen. And then once I film all of that, then I go back in and I do all of my journaling. So you won't see the final thing of all of this with the journaling in it. You'll kind of see that at a later date. And if you check out like my Instagrams, they'll be posted without the journaling, because I like the look of it before the pen. And sometimes, you're writing things in your journal that you don't want the whole world to know. So I always like photograph or film all of that before the pen. But I really do like the added, instrument or tool, if you will, of using the stapler and making like little clusters. And I kind of carry that on like for the next couple pages. But I really do like how all this came together. And it really brings in the vibe of what I'm trying to bring across with like kind of like that country look, but it looks fallish, but yet it still captures some of the nature. And then once I put all the journaling in there, I think it'll all pull together. So I'm going to go for this moment. I'll pop back in other places in the video of voiceover Missy. So yeah. So what you're going to see me do here is I'm actually going to be using some memorabilia from the trip. This black and white checkered paper was actually the paper that our gyro and french fries actually came in, and I kept the receipt. So I'm going to be using those two pieces in this little spread. I have a little picture and the receipt, and I'm going to be using a lot of stickers that have nothing to do with fall. But you're going to see they have like their stickers from like, I think it's like Father's Day back in the spring and stuff. But they have pictures of like gyro sandwiches and grills, and this is how they made our gyro. They were grilling it, and they have like, grill tongs and things like that. So I'm going to be using some like stickers that you wouldn't think to go with the spread, because the spread is supposed to be capturing like fall in nature. But I really loved the idea of kind of using stickers that were like more about what the sentiment was, which was that my husband and I shared this gyro up at the top of the mountain, and I kept the piece of paper that was in the box and the receipt. So I'm going to be pulling for some different kind of stickers for this. But in the end, I really love how it all came together. And I kind of go back through the spread and all of the pages actually, and add a little bit of different stickers that really have nothing to do with fall, but like had more like sentiments about like being excited and smiling and things like that. And I really think that adds an element to my spreads that make it very personal and reflect the feeling that I was feeling in that moment. And then when we go back and look at this years later, those stickers will really express how we were feeling in that moment. And I think it'll kind of like revive those feelings, because the page is full of like stickers that reflect, excitement and smiles and just basically truly how we were feeling in that moment. And I really love how this gyro basically spread came together. I think out of all of it, it's one of my absolute favorite spreads. I really love using all the different stickers, and just I love how this one turned out. So simple, just some paper and a receipt. But I really love the idea of keeping quote unquote junk, things that you would just kind of like crumble up and throw away when you're done with the gyro. I love saving that stuff for your journals. I know they call it junk journal, but using like junk journal techniques in your memory keeping, I think, is a beautiful way to journal.